Alright, welcome to another beer review. That was a bit of an awkward introduction. To be honest, it is really warm and I've just gone in from work and I thought, Joe, I'll have a beer, and it's currently 10 to 1 in the morning and I was just in the mood for a beer, to be honest. And so I thought I'd have something barrel aged, something nice and simple. So pick this beer up from Northern Beer Temple in Wigan, links down below. And this is a bottle of beer from, I always forget the name of the brewery, I do apologise, Orbit Brewing Limited, out of London. And this is a bottle of the, one of their Diggers series, with a really nice metallic label. And you have to get that fringe sorted out. But yeah, this is the 2016 vintage, which is a double brown stout Pinot Noir barrel aged for 12 months in oak barrels, previously used to mature Volnay and Gave Chamberlain. And then the typography on the stamp actually gets a little bit too ineligible, can't remember how that word's formulated, but yeah, I'll put all the information down below if anyone's interested. And yeah, 7.4% in a 330ml bottle. So this is part of the Diggers series that they do. I did have it was a Rauch beer that they did not too long back, it was alright. It just needed a bit more oomph, to be honest. A really good sort of entry level sort of attempt at smoked beer, but hardly anything that blew me away, but very solid indeed. So what more could you ask for? But yeah, here at Orbit Beers we celebrate the patience needed to spend hours flipping through records. I can appreciate that. Hoping to find a rare gem to add to your collection. Really need to start getting back into records, actually. The patience needed to age beer in wood, exacting the character of the barrel, or waiting for wild yeast and bacteria to perform their magic in the bottle, advancing the complexity and madness, roundness, can't even read, of flavour. Welcome to the Diggers series. So, honour tradition, embrace innovation. I like that a lot, and I don't think we do that enough here in the UK. There's only a few breweries I find who have that really nice sort of balance. So yeah, my hair's annoying me, do apologise. So this was barrelled on the 27th of the 9th 2017, and the best before date is 27th of the 9th 2022, so it's already got a year on it, which is probably the most I'll be able to ever age a beer. Although that being said, I've still got a 2014 bottle of Founder's Backwards Bastard, which was kindly given to me by the legend that is Rob from Hopsy. But yeah, a really nicely presented bottle with a wax cap. Paid £5.45 for this, which I think is a damn good price actually for a barrel-aged beer. So hopefully it lives up to the price tag. And of course I haven't prepared the wax cap, and if you just pull that off, that's just going to snap off anyway. So I've got a trusty knife, which probably should have done this before I started the review, but oh well. Such is life, I suppose. Don't know what that's supposed to mean in this context, but oh well. So let's see if we can pull that off now. No, of course not, because I've not done it properly, because I'm a bit of a dick, as most of you guys already know, especially the chosen unfortunate few who have actually met me in person. But yeah, I'm going to end up cutting that. There we go. Just pull it off. And yeah, there we've got I never know what they're actually called, the middle part of a record. But unfortunately, I just have this monstrosity of a bottle opener, so that's not going to be preserved, unfortunately. So let's get this beer opened and see what we get. Whoops, oh god, got a nice big hiss on my hand then. Oh, yeah, this is absolutely terrible to open with this Oh, well, there we go. Add eruption. So let's pour that in. Oh, right. Whoa, 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 whoa. So, oh, you can smell it from here. Yeah, I'm going to have to wipe that up before it stains the table. Oh well. But yeah, beer in the glass then. And that is a really nice dark brown with about 3 fingers worth of a light tan coloured head. Yeah, you get sort of like very subtle ruby hues, but it is really nice and almost got like an oily brown look to it. But yeah, it's certainly, you can smell that beer. It's really quite a strong smelling beer, and hopefully I don't get any beer on my Cloudwater t-shirt. But God, how much of a ponce do I sound right now? Anyway, so let's see what we get on the nose. You're definitely getting that Pinot Noir. There's a really big wine character coming from this. Lovely sort of like red intense grape notes. A little bit of currant. There's this lovely peated barrel character. What was the style of in Pinot Noir barrel aged McCord in oak barrels? Yeah, you're getting that, and it's got that very subtle sort of like spicy what's it called? Balsamic vinegar character. It smells warm. Do you know what I mean? It's got like lovely medley of spices in there. Even like a subtle hint of like a juniper or some of the botanicals you would find in gin almost. It's a very complex smelling beer. Lovely roasty, dark, intense like rye bread. Yeah, it's very, very savoury with some very subtle sweet tones, and it's very sticky once it sets. So I think I better just pop in. Cheers. Pop in. Whatever. Ooh, that's a little bit tart. Almost has like a Flemish red ale, like tartness to it. Like not like, even though it's not really potent compared to some, but like Duchess de Bourgogne, or is that how it's pronounced? I don't know. Now that was a sour, puckering beer. But this has that like really nice, intense, like, it's going to sound horrific, but like a malt vinegar mixed with like a reduced balsamic vinegar. Loads of grape character. A really nice, dense, bready tone. It's picked up the barrel perfectly. And it's almost got like an Indian spice mix character to it. Very earthy. It's building up on the back end. There's a real potency towards the end of the beer. But that is as complex as they come. And that was only like less than £6. That barrel, you're getting that oaky tone, really quite strong. That was a very bountiful barrel that they've used on this one. You know, I've paid like upwards of £10 plus for like these big, like impressive imports and stuff that have been aged in barrels, and you don't pick it up anywhere near as much as this. Not to everyone's cup of tea. It's one that I don't think I'd like to drink too much of, because although it's only around 7.8%, you get the impression from like the Pinot Noir character that it's a little bit more potent than that. So it does linger on as it's going down. But yeah, it's like you've eaten something. It reminds me of, recently I had pate, right, on a nice dark rye bread with a smoky cheddar cheese. And some people are going to think, what the hell are you talking about? And some people are going to think, that sounds lush. It is lush. It's just a little bit too potent for me. It's definitely a sipper for sure, and one that I will enjoy drinking. I probably, even though it's been settled for a little while, I think I've had it for about a week in my box that I've got, probably should have put it in the fridge to settle down, admittedly. But I didn't lose too much. And it doesn't have like that flavour that like an overly carved or aggressive beer tends to have. You know, where you can like just taste that it needed to be toned down a bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, if this was left for another 6 months to a year and that like settled down, I think that would really benefit the beer. It's not too thin either. It's got a really nice bold body for the ABV, and especially mixing in with that barrel, which does have a tendency to, I find anyway, like slightly thin a beer, especially when you've got like the remnants of Pinot Noir in there. But no, it's very sticky on the end. And if Paul from Beer Brew News was drinking this, even though it isn't, he would say it's still too thin, because he's a bit of an arsehole, let's be honest. But love you, Paul. But this to me is like, if I was going to recommend this beer to any of my beer drinking friends, I'd be like, Paul, try this one. And I tell you what, I've still got quite a few beers of yours that I need to send over. I might pick up a bottle of this for you as well, because it's got that like slight old ale character all to it also. It's one of those ones where you look at it from different angles, you'll pick up different things. You take one sip and it'll taste of something. You take another sip a few minutes later, you'll get a completely different experience. Obviously dependent where it lands on the palate initially. But yeah. Yeah, it's just a tiny bit too potent. There's just some flavours in there that I'm not the biggest fan of, but it's by far a badly brewed beer. And I think they've done an exceptional job, all things considered, in terms of what my preferences are. So I could see people absolutely falling head over heels with this. It sort of reminds me of the stuff that Marble are doing, which has had quite acclaim. But I think this is like an understated entry, and I'd like to try more from the series. So even though it's not really my cup of tea, I'm still happy to give this an 8 out of 10. I can't fault it. It's like something you'd expect imported from from Europe. Do you know what I mean? It's got that real like classy, mature feel to it, and it was less than £6. So price point alone, definitely a seller beer for sure, though I would say. So 8 out of 10 for Orbit's Digger series. I think this will be classed as number 7. Of course, correct information will be included in the description. Check out Orbit Beers. Check out Northern Beer Temple. I've had access to some great beers, and this would sit alongside some of the best, well, some of the more accessible and appreciated Belgian beers, I would say. It's got that like real authenticity to it, and I'm instantly attributing it to something that I'd expect to pick up from Belgium for some reason. But yeah, it's an awesome little beer, and yeah, still 8 out of 10, even though it's really not my cup of tea. So if you've tried this or any of the other beers from this series, then let me know your thoughts and opinions. Of course, if any other friends of fellow beer tubers have reviewed it, get your words out, Peter, then their links will be down below. And of course, I hope you'll join me next time for another beer review. So thank you all for watching, and I'm off to go watch some feminist porn, very conscientious and ethical porn, and then I'm going to make myself some avocado on toast. So thank you for watching, and I shall hopefully see you all later. Ciao for now.